dear Conflyers. I, Himanshi Bora from Confluence World School, welcome you to this amazing learning of science. Today in this video, we will learn chapter number 11, Force and Pressure, which comes from the physics portion of your science textbook. Now, force. In previous grades, we have learned that in science, force is push or pull on an object. Now, when you hit a ball with cricket bat, there is an interaction between the ball and the bat. There is an interaction between the bat and your hands. So this is the answer, that the force comes into an action by interaction between two objects. So for force to come into action, there shall an interaction. Now if this boy tries to move this box, then there shall be an interaction between the box and the boy. So the boy shall touch the box with the hands. So force comes into action when there is interaction between two objects. Number one. Number two, motion imparted to objects. Like see, a ball starts moving when it is being hit by the bat. So there is a motion in ball. So the motion in that ball is imparted due to action of force. So number one point, that in science, force is push or pull on an object. Force comes into an action when there is an interaction between two objects. Number three, motion imparted to any object is due to the action of force. Now let's explore further. Now, if this boy tries to move this box in this direction, now there is one more boy. He also tries to move the box in the same direction. Now both the boys, they are trying to move the box in this similar direction. Right? So this will add up the force. So the force in same direction add to one another. So now the force is being given in same direction. So the total force will be the amount of force given to this box by these two boys. So this is condition 1, when the force is in same direction. Now what happens? Now the force now is in opposite direction. This boy tried to move the box in this direction, and this boy is applying the force on the box in this direction. So the force is in opposite direction. So what happens now here? Now in opposite direction, net force acting on it will be the difference between the two forces. So the amount of force this boy applies, the amount of force this boy applies, how much force is being applied on this box will be the difference between these two forces. So net force means the total force which is being given to this box. Now, as if now the force is applied in opposite direction. So what will be the total amount of the force which is given to the box? That force, the net force. The net force will be the difference between the two forces, the force by boy 1 and force by boy 2. So when the force is in opposite direction, the net force acting on it is the difference between the two forces. So there will be a condition when there will be more than one force on one object. So how do we calculate? So the net force on that object, when there are more than one forces, the difference of the forces will be the net force applied on the object. Now, so we can say the force could be larger, force could be smaller than other, or it could be equal. How would be equal? Let's see. You have played a game called tug of war in your school. What happens? Sometimes the force is greater at one side. So the rope goes to one side. Sometimes the force is equal on both the sides of the rope. So the rope remains in the same position. So see, the force would be larger, force would be smaller, or force would be equal. So tug of war is an example of this, that the force can be larger, smaller than another, or it could be equal. Now, how do we show force? The force is decided by its magnitude. So, magnitude decides the amount of force, number one. Number two, we also have to specify the direction of the force. Because to know the direction, whether the force is applied in same direction or the force is applied in opposite direction. So, the magnitude of the force and the direction of the force is essential to know the net force on any object. Now, do ask questions if you have not understood anything or a topic. Do write it to me. I'll be happy to solve it. Do table 11.1, which is there in the textbook, and send answers to me. Thank you.